Whether you're a nerd or a geek or an insomniac freak, if you're looking for cryptically whispered symphonies, you're at the right place, and we'll say it to your face here at
May 19th, 1845. We departed England today, the shores of home fading into the distance as the HMS Erebus and HMS Terror cut through the waves. A grand send-off it was, with music and cheering crowds, families waving from the docks. Spirits are high among the crew, and hope fills every heart. Captain Sir John Franklin stands at the helm, his presence a reassuring reminder of the great feats this expedition aims to achieve. We are bound for the Northwest Passage, the fabled route that will secure our place in history. Our two ships, outfitted with the best technology the Admiralty could provide, reinforced hulls and steam engines, seem invincible. I write this now as we settle into the rhythm of the sea. Men laugh and sing shanties. Even the youngest among us, eager to prove their worth, seem undaunted by the journey ahead. We speak of the adventures that await, of triumph and discovery. For now the cold is a distant thought, a whisper on the wind. Little do we know the true depth of what awaits us in the Arctic's icy heart. September 15th, 1845. We are deep into Baffin Bay now, and the temperature has begun to fall with a steady determination. The sea still flows freely, but we've encountered our first real icebergs, vast and majestic in their desolation. The sun hangs lower each day, and twilight creeps into our evenings like a silent intruder. The men joke that it's nothing compared to what we'll face come winter, but there is an unease beneath the humor, a growing awareness of how far we are from home. Captain Franklin remains confident. He holds regular meetings with his officers, speaking of the wonders that lie ahead. But I've noticed a more serious edge in his voice. Crozier, the captain of the Terror, is a man of few words, but his gaze is sharp, always watching the ice with a calculating eye. I've heard him mutter that the pack ice is closing in sooner than expected. For now, the Erebus and Terror press onward, and we trust in our provisions and technology. Hunting parties are sent out occasionally to supplement our rations, and we have had some success with seals. But the land is barren and unforgiving, a stark contrast to the green fields of England. Some men have begun keeping journals, writing of the beauty and harshness of this land. As I pen these words, I cannot help but wonder if one day they will be read by those who come after us, or if they will be lost to the snow, forgotten in the endless white. January 18th, 1846. We are trapped. The ice has closed in around us, locking the Erebus and Terror in an unbreakable grip. It happened so gradually at first, the pack ice thickening, our progress slowing until finally we could go no further. The sun has vanished below the horizon, leaving us in a world of twilight and darkness. We have begun the long, miserable wait for spring, and the cold has grown sharper, more insidious, as though it has a mind of its own. Captain Franklin keeps a brave front, reminding us of our preparations and the ample provisions we brought with us. We have enough to last 2, even 3 years if needed. But no amount of salted meat or hardtack can chase away the dread that has taken root among the men. We keep ourselves busy, repairing gear, reinforcing our shelters against the bitter wind, but the sense of being trapped gnaws at us. We are prisoners of the ice, and it is a relentless warden. Strange things have begun to happen. Men have reported hearing sounds in the night, soft and mournful, like a woman weeping far out on the ice. At first we dismissed it as the wind, but now I'm not so sure. The stories are spreading, and fear is a dangerous thing in this frozen wasteland. June 12th, 1846. Summer has come, but the ice shows no sign of breaking. We had hoped for movement, for some sign that we might be freed, but the ice remains solid, unyielding. The days have grown long, sunlight stretching across the horizon, but it brings no warmth, only a reminder of how cruel and indifferent this land can be. Our provisions are holding steady, but there is a restlessness growing among the men. The stories of the wailing voice have only intensified. More men claim to have heard it, that mournful cry drifting on the wind, and some swear they've seen shadows moving in the distance, just beyond the edge of our camp. Dr. Stanley attributes it to the isolation, the lead in our tinned food, the creeping effects of scurvy. He insists that our minds are playing tricks, that we must hold fast. But the whispers of something supernatural have taken hold. We are trying to keep spirits up. There are games, songs, and small celebrations, but the laughter feels forced. Captain Franklin holds regular services, praying for deliverance, and even the skeptics join in. The men are growing thinner, and frostbite is a constant threat. Every day that the ice refuses to budge, it feels like another nail in our coffin. November 7th, 1846. Another winter has descended upon us, and hope is in short supply. The cold is worse than before, and the darkness presses in from all sides. We've become shadows of the men who left England full of dreams and courage. Frostbite has claimed fingers and toes, and scurvy has begun to ravage the weakest among us. Dr. Stanley does what he can, but even he seems defeated, his hands trembling as he tends to the sick. And then there is the voice. It is no longer just a rumor, no longer a tale whispered in fear. We have all heard it now, a keening wail that drifts through the night, pulling at the edges of our sanity. Some say it sounds like a woman in mourning, her grief so powerful it cuts through the howling wind. Others swear it calls their names, promising warmth, promising peace. A few men have taken to praying more fervently, begging for protection from whatever haunts us. Crozier has taken to carrying a pistol at all times, his face grim and pale. He has doubled the watches, and no man is allowed on deck alone. Captain Franklin tries to hold us together, but even he has grown quieter, his prayers sounding more desperate with each passing day. The ice has us in its grip, and the voice waits. I fear what it will claim next. March 14th, 1847. We have spent nearly 2 years trapped in this frozen hell, and it seems the Arctic has no intention of releasing us. Spring is coming, but it offers little comfort. The voice has become a part of our lives now, a nightly presence that seeps into our dreams. Some men claim to have seen her, a figure clad in white, standing just at the edge of the ice, her hair blowing in the wind as she weeps for us. 2 nights ago, a man named Samuel disappeared. He had been one of the strongest among us, but when the voice called, he was gone before anyone could stop him. We found his footprints leading away from the ship, vanishing where the ice became smooth and undisturbed. Crozier cursed when we returned empty-handed, and I saw the look in Captain Franklin's eyes, a look of defeat. We are dying, slowly but surely, and there is nothing we can do to stop it. The Banshee, for that is what we've begun to call her, mourns for us. She knows our names, and she waits. August 28th, 1847. The sun hangs low in the sky and the ice has not moved. We have accepted that this is not a prison we can escape. More men have died, their bodies buried in the snow marked with simple wooden crosses. Dr. Stanley has grown gaunt, his eyes hollow, and he no longer argues when men speak of the Banshee. The wailing has become more frequent, louder, and it seeps into our minds even when we cover our ears. The rations are running out, and the lead poisoning has left many of us confused. our memories slipping like sand through our fingers. The men whisper of mutiny, of abandoning the ships and striking out for land, but we have no clear direction, no hope of rescue. Crozier is preparing for the worst, mapping out routes and rationing supplies for a desperate march. Captain Franklin has grown frail, and he rarely leaves his cabin now. He still prays, but his voice is weak, and I cannot help but feel that he too is waiting for the Banshee to call his name. April 22nd, 1848. Today we abandon the Erebus and Terror. Captain Franklin is dead. He passed quietly weeks ago, slipping away in the night, and we buried him in the ice. Crozier has taken command, and he has made the impossible decision to leave the ships. We can no longer survive here. The Banshee's voice has grown louder, echoing through our very souls, and men are losing their minds. Last night another man disappeared into the snow, answering her mournful call. We have packed what supplies we can carry and prepared sledges for the long, desperate march south, hoping to reach a trading post or a settlement. The ice stretches out before us, vast and unmerciful, but we have no choice. We must try, or we will die here, claimed by the cold and the sorrowful spirit that haunts us. As I write this, I can hear her wail, soft and distant, a lament that promises peace and warmth. She waits for us in the snow, mourning the souls she will take. I do not know if we will survive the journey, but we must try. We must fight against the ice, against the grief that threatens to pull us under. We march south tomorrow. May God help us.
Fictional history, mystery.